Hey folks, this is Professor Dr. Phil Campos recording this video for my new book, Government Contracting During the COVID-19 Pandemic. I am recording from the Baltimore, Maryland area, and it's a fantastic day. So this book is a follow-up to my previous book, Is Buying Goods and Services for the Federal Government a Good Career Choice? And the answer is yes. But I needed to update some of the buying thresholds, like the minimal dollar values. And I have 3 examples in the book that talk about, how to buy and the different dollar thresholds. So I updated those thresholds to the current dollar values. But I added a larger portion to the teleworking section that we have to go through as contract specialists during the pandemic, and to basically give you a little bit of an update as to, how did we survive. So back in March of last year, I got a call on a Sunday from the boss that we were not to be coming into the office because of the pandemic, that we're going to have to work or telework full-time until further notice. And it's been March, April, May, June, 15 months. So the issues were, and have always been, well, how is the government going to work when everybody's working from home? Is the work going to get done? How do we communicate? Does everybody have enough equipment to work from home? What about the social factors of working with everybody split up? What's that going to do to morale? Well, a quick recap, it's going great. In my previous book, I had noted that some of the supervisors were not crazy about the idea of teleworking, and some of them were holding some folks back because, they had old, thought processes about people not working and maybe being lazy or messing around. I'm here to tell you that has changed dramatically. If that was going on, it's not. I mean, the supervisors are fantastic. The communication between the supervisors and the contract specialists is great. And I would suspect that with, a lot of other, folks too, because you have to. It's one of those things that, in a time of crisis, people stick together and get the job done. So during the pandemic, we communicated through WebEx and Zoom and Google Meets, etc. Here's the good thing about being a contract specialist, and a lot of other fields too, but especially for contract specialists. Everything we do is electronic. Even when we're in the office and we would get a new requirement, it came in electronically. The boss might have just been around the corner, but, it's like, I get up, he just, texts back and forth, Of course, we still have to have little meetings, but we will always communicate electronically. We'd get the requirement electronically, we would review it electronically, we would post it for the solicitation electronically. When the vendors would send it back to the government, it came back electronically. The program managers and the team evaluating the solicitation bids, electronic. We would negotiate electronically, make the buy electronically, post it electronically, and monitor it or administer it electronically. So why go into the building? Why go into the office? Well, that's a hangover of the past, and I think in the future you'll find a lot more people wanting to telework. I think I read a DOD article that 50% of the folks at the Department of Defense are going to stay at home, working at home, contract specialists. And a lot more people want to do that. Back when President Obama was president, I was working for the General Services Administration. He had an executive order that basically stated all agencies, you're mandated to try to get your people to work from home, and we can this way shut down these rental properties, and we can put the money back into the Treasury or back into your employees' training, etc. So that's been going on for a while, but it takes time for that culture to change. Well, we were thrusted into it now. That's the bad news with the pandemic. The good news is that according to a ton of articles that are out there, and the general accounting office, which I have an article in the book about it, the statistics show that folks were highly productive. Work was not missed, and that's the same in our agencies. In my agency, a lot of agencies, the work was done, and it's because it's electronic. If you need some kind of feedback, or if you need to send an email or talk, it's electronic, and folks respond, quickly. And one of the things, a lot of our program managers say, man, we love y'all because you respond really fast. Well, yeah, because I'm at home as soon as I'm working, there's no interruptions, and I see the email, and boom, I answer right away, and vice versa. So teleworking is great. Some of the social psychologists or some of the social aspect is, well, is it going to cause a morale problem? Because, is there a need for people to be together every day? Well, to an extent, yeah. But at the same time, we have a lot of Zoom meetings. I mean, almost every week we have 2 or 3 WebEx meetings. I mean, so you're connected. It's just not touchy-feely. And besides, when you're in the office, there's none of this touchy-feely stuff anyway. I mean, some folks don't like that, and even if someone does, they don't do that. So that's not the corporate culture for contract specialists. It's electronic. So even in the office, people are professional. But it's a carry-on, at work. A lot of the folks that I know would rather work from their home. You don't have to, pay for laundry, for the gas, you lower your carbon footprint, you may not have to get a babysitter. I mean, it's just so many positive, points, and economically, that helps. And so there's been a tremendous evolution and acceptance with teleworking. Way back when I worked for the General Service Administration, this is what they planned for a pandemic. Well, what's going to happen during the pandemic? But again, the old-fashioned thinking was, well, we have to have the people in the office so we can work with them and touch them and, shake their hands and coach them. Hey, it doesn't work like that. I mean, yeah, it's nice that they're sitting there, but really the only reason people are at the office, in my opinion, is because we got to pay the rent, because, well, we have to be there because we're paying the rent, and it's like, why? And this pandemic has shown that it's doable. And so the government is still going to push for that, and I think that this has turned the tide on teleworking. And so, for the new folks that are trying to work for the government, you'll see in the announcement, is telework going to be authorized? Yes. And a lot of them are now saying yes, where before is maybe. So, especially as a contract specialist, your training, your mentoring, your classes, all online. Now, is it nice to be together as a group? Yeah, sure. Of course, and maybe that's for a once-a-month meeting or something, at a park or a restaurant, with now that people have gotten their shots, But one of the things, with the COVID-19 vaccines, more and more folks are getting the vaccine. So it's like, well, do folks, want to come into the office? Well, I know for myself and my age group and my pre-existing conditions, I would think, think about it. The only problem is I keep on hearing about the variants. And it's like, I don't know, why should I go in if there's a variant and it may, kill me, right? Or get me really sick. Why take that risk, And so if I get the opportunity to telework, till forever, I'm going to do it. If I want to talk to somebody, I call them up. Hey, you got a couple of minutes? Or I'll WebEx them, or I'll Zoom them, or Google Meets, or whatever. But as long as the work's getting done, every day we were always talking to each other when the work's getting done. So if you have an opportunity, and this is a great book, that talks about, the basic foundation of what you're doing as a buyer for the government, but also the current teleworking. Some insights into current teleworking, and I left the definitions, which is a lot of definitions. But you say, why do you have so many definitions in there? Well, when you start a new job, or if you're in a new job, and there's people that are that are talking business and you don't know, what they're talking about. It sounds like English, but what does that mean? Well, you look to the dictionary and it says what it is. Oh, okay, I got it. I remember one time when I first started working, I had never, even though, I did contracts, right, or learned contracts, I was, okay, well, on that particular contract, are we just going to, do a modification? And it's like, oh, okay, so what's the process? Modification, changing the terms and conditions of the contract, you go through the process, but so I had to look it up and make sure. I didn't say anything, but I heard it, and you're going to go be in the same boat. But with the definitions, I would suggest look at our definitions, go through them real quick. You don't have to memorize them, but just get a feel for what you're going to be listening to, when you start the job. As I noted in my last video, a new thing that just happened, I put it in my book, Space Force, the new agency, Department of Defense that was created, they're going to hire over 20,000 employees between now and next year. They got the budget. A lot of agencies are hiring thousands and thousands of people, Department of Defense, the VA, everybody. Why? Because there was a hold on hiring folks because they're trying to figure out, do we really need as many people? Well, now with the new administration, they go, yes, you need all these people. You need the people to do the job. We have to catch up. So there's a big push right now, June the 21st, 2021, to hire more people. So I always say, the saying, luck is when preparation meets opportunity, right? They say, oh, you're lucky. No, get prepared. Get ready for the job. So that's really what I just want to give you all a quick recap. Here's the bigger thing. My phone number, 214-202-8044. If you want to text me or call me, any questions about the field, or if you're already working in the field, have a question, or you're going to have an interview, I'll be happy to talk with you, and talk you through the process. What's guaranteed? Nothing. But at least you'll have an insight. And a lot of times when you go into an interview, and if you're calm, you'll come across better. I remember I helped one lady from up north, and went through the whole process, and then, she was really feeling good, and then she called me. She said, I didn't get the job. And I said, why? She said, they said that I looked too nervous. And I said, nervous? Why were you nervous? She goes, I don't know, I just couldn't help myself. So they passed her up for the job. So they don't try to trick you. Nobody tries to trip you up on these interviews. They want to hire folks. They're going to hire thousands of folks, nationwide. The government is. So take a look at the book, read it. The other thing I want to tell y'all, this book is, it really talks about how to become a contract specialist. But this applies to anybody. You want to be a psychologist, a sociologist, a dentist. It's the same kind of process. Go into usajobs.gov and then put in what you want, and then the area, and make sure you have your resume in there. And that's it. But if you want more insight, you want to talk more, give me a buzz or text me, and I'll be happy to help you. I don't want to go on forever. This is going about 13 minutes. I hope you'll buy the book. It's on Amazon.com. Just Google Dr. Phil Campos. I have another little book. It's about my little dog, the Cabazon Queen. That's on Kindle. It's free. Most of my books are also on Kindle, so I haven't put this one up, but maybe down the road. But you can also go into the Kindle if you have Kindle Prime. But in the meantime, do yourself a favor, get the book, take a look at it. If you got any questions, I'll be happy to answer your questions. Okay, with that, I'm looking now because I need to, see how I'm going to log out here. This is Professor Campos coming to you from the Baltimore, Maryland area. It's a wonderful day in June 25th, 2021. And good luck. Get prepared. Get the job. You're going to love it. This is an